What's going on, guys? J-Kun Prime here with another Division 2 video, and over the course of the weekend we had a chance to play the game thanks to the private beta that you can access if you had either A, pre-ordered the game, or B, signed up back when they announced it during E3 and was lucky enough to get selected. So with this video, I wanted to talk about my experience with not only the PS4 version of the beta, but the PC version as well, and directly compare the two. Through the course of the video, I will have footage up of a particular mission that I did on the PS4 version, as well as the PC version, so you can get a look at the graphical and frame rate comparison of the two. Before we get into that, if you could, please leave a thumbs up on the video as it shows your support, and it lets me know what kind of content you like to watch on the channel. With that being said, let's get down to business. Now, before I dive deep, I will openly admit I didn't get super invested in Division 1 outside of playing the story. So I definitely am not qualified to go into deep discussion with in-game tweaks from the first game to this one as far as balance patches go, or in-depth detail of character builds or the Dark Zone. For something like that, I would highly suggest checking out Datto's discussion video that he did with Char and a couple others, which I'll leave a link down in the information section below. So first and foremost, this game plays just like Division 1, which is fine. I wasn't expecting them to reinvent the wheel or anything. The base gameplay is the same, so if you enjoyed Division 1, you're going to enjoy Division 2. Exploration was not only fun with how the map is put together, it is very much encouraged. Division 1's map of Manhattan, despite its size, was fairly restricted as where you could and couldn't go. Washington DC's map in Division 2, however, felt pretty wide open for what they gave us in the beta. So if you didn't want to go do the missions that were supplied to us in the beta, no problem. Go explore around and see what you find. Now let's touch on the enemy AI. The enemies felt a lot more aggressive this time around. In the first game, they were pretty straightforward. Take care and systematically take them out one by one. Higher level, depending on how you built your character, you could eventually just go around Ramboing everyone and not even have to worry about taking cover most of the time. That is definitely not the case this time around. The enemy will constantly shoot at you. They will try and flank you. They will try and run you out of cover. They will constantly outnumber you. And in the in-game mission that they gave us to play, they will use character abilities just like you will, and will even revive fallen comrades. If you don't take out their medics immediately, it'll leave you with a feeling, as the player, that they just won't stop coming for me. Personally, I thought this was a nice touch, and I appreciated the difficulty that it brought to the table. It was nice to have to stop, assess the situation, and make a plan of attack instead of just blindly going in guns a-blazing like I would do in something like Destiny. Another thing I noticed was item acquisition and consumables. In Division 1, every time you grabbed loot, you could also loot and buy mods for your weapons, like scopes, laser sights, front grips, etc. Now, I don't know if this was something for the beta, but you can't buy those anymore. You have to unlock them from the quartermaster at safe houses. While it sucks that you can't just find and buy them like you did before, it is nice that once you unlock a weapon add-on, you can equip it to any compatible weapon anytime you want, including equipping the same add-on to multiple weapons at once. Then there's the case of consumable items. They're basically gone, which personally I did not mind. The only time I even remembered even having them in Division 1 is when I would run into that random person on the street that needed a bottle of water or a power bar or something, and then they would give you a piece of loot in return. So in 2, when you get something like shock or incendiary ammo, you just use it outright then and there rather than saving it for later. This could be a bad and a good thing, but since I didn't use them much in the first game, I didn't really view it as much of a big deal. So now that the little stuff is out of the way, let's talk about the comparison between PS4 and PC. So on the PS4 beta, things looked good for the most part. Graphically, everything looked fantastic, although the frame rate, like most console games, was locked at 30 frames a second. But the issues laid in stability of the game servers. There were several times where I was booted from the game for no reason at all, and then on top of that, it could take up to 20 minutes or more to get a friend into my party. Now, I won't completely hold that against the beta, since I was told that the update that they added on Saturday ultimately fixed this problem, but the constant disconnects were nevertheless very frustrating. Now, the PC version has a different issue altogether. While things ran smooth at 1080p 60 frames a second, the moment I would turn on my streaming software, everything would go to hell in a big hurry. I by no means have a low-end PC, but the PC beta would send my CPU into berserk mode, with the frame rate while Streamlabs OBS was going would just go bonkers, constantly jumping from 60 frames to 40 to 20, back to 60, down to 54. It was not stable at all. Thankfully, I was not the only person that had this problem, and ultimately finding a solution in scaling down the game to 720p. Much like a capped frame rate, making me have to scale how the game looks down when I've ran equally taxing games on the same settings with no issues whatsoever loses some big brownie points with me. But once that was out of the way, the PC beta ran great with little to no issue whatsoever in inviting teammates or even playing the in-game content. So ultimately, in comparison, I would have to say that the PC version ran the best, despite the very glaring issue it had right at the beginning. But that is something that I'm confident will not be an issue come the full release, since they do have a month to better optimize this game for PC settings. So to give my honest opinion on this game, while it was fun, and I personally like The Division and its storyline, I don't see much that would entice new players to come give this game a try, when you have so many different action MMOs out there to choose from right now. You have Destiny 2, Warframe, Anthem's coming out in just a couple days, and then you have this game coming out literally a month right after Anthem. There's definitely a flood of looter-shooter action MMO style games right now. So the best advice I can give with all the choices you have is try them all and see which one fits you best. And to take a page out of Dado's book, play where your friends are playing. But that's going to wrap things up for me. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate the support. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and tap the bell. That way you always know when I have something for you to watch. And while you're at it, come check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/jcoonprime, where we stream 7 days a week. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.